Hey there, BoardRoom Podcast listeners. This podcast is brought to you by the BoardRoom International Surfboard Show coming up October 12th and 13th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, presented by US Blanks. This podcast is also brought to you by the California Gold Surf Auction, the Fall 2024 edition, which takes place in mid-October and features 48 incredible vintage collectible surfboards, masterpieces. The California Gold Surf Auction. And now, on to the podcast. If you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. There are a plethora of quotes on the interweb about the manifestations of dreams. They're mostly trite and hackneyed, but cliches are boring because they are true. What you're about to hear is the condensed origin story of how the surfing village in the Telos Islands region came into existence. I've condensed it into two parts, and it should be noted that yours truly had a technical flare-up, a glitch if you will, and the first 25 minutes of this conversation got deleted. I will summarize the best I can here, and then hopefully splice us cleanly into the conversation where the recording picks up. But do know that you can get the full, extended, real-life version of the beginning of the origin story by simply visiting Surfing Village and talking to the man himself. This story is really a dream, or it speaks to the power of dreams. One man's dream that became a reality. That man's name is Paulo Roberto Ciamarelli. In some ways, his story is about focusing on that dream. If you focus, it will eventually manifest. If you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. Some backstory here. Paulo is Brazilian, and like surfers the world over, he became infatuated with riding waves and the surfing lifestyle. He has surfed and he has traveled. Paulo lived on Kauai. Paulo lived in Australia, where, by the way, he was chased out of the country after living there illegally on an expired visa. Eventually, he found his way to Bali and set his sights on finding a perfect surfing setup where he could surf uncrowded waves and eventually share his idyllic lifestyle with others. So, he and a friend agreed to search for the remote location that would eventually become their home base, the surfing village. Their search started in Timor, but as time went by and many wave locations scouted, Paulo's friend backed away from the dream, and so Paulo continued on the quest, alone. Eventually, he ran into an Australian named Glenn, and the two of them agreed, hey, let's follow our dream of finding a perfect uncrowded surf spot where we can settle down for good. And so with Glenn as an accomplice, Paulo's search through Indonesian waters continued. And this is more or less where my conversation with Paulo picks up, with he and Glenn in the Telos region. On this special episode of the BoardRoom Podcast, part one of my conversation with Paulo of Surfing Village. Let us begin. Okay, yeah, you were telling me about your search. You're going from island to island on ferries, and you're taking boats out to look for waves to just try to discover where your surf camp's going to be built.
Yeah, the search was I need three things, Scott. I need to find a world class. I was searching for a world class wave, not only a wave. I was trying to find a world-class wave with the land in front of it and the owner willing to do business with the land, you know. So I found a lot of waves in Indonesia. It is not hard to find a wave in Indonesia, and but a world-class It's not many left that people keep secret. There is not many left. I found some. I found in Savo. There is this fantastic place. But to put the three together was a hard thing. So I was in Sumba, then I went to Sumba, and I found this left-hander really powerful. I would not say it was a world class, but it would be a good enough. And then I met Glenn from Australia, and there was not many surfers there. Yeah? So he looked at me, where are you from? Brazil? You're Australia? What are you doing? I said, man, I'm looking for paradise. And he goes like, me too. So really? Yeah. So I told him, well, look, I'm looking for paradise to throw the anchor. I want to build a surf camp. And he goes like, no, I'm just looking for paradise to surf. Oh, well, we are looking for the same thing, different purpose, so might as well join force. And he agreed. He asked me, have you checked Telos yet? And I told the story, look, I was going to Simelu, then I was going to avoid Nias, but I was going to do Simelu, Banhacs, avoid Nias and Telo. But Telo, on the map at least, it looks so close to Mentawai that I'm afraid, I'm a bit torn to go there because I'm concerned if it's already start to be crowded there. And Glenn told me, look, I have a friend that 2 weeks ago he mailed me. He said he went sail in Telos, and his friend said to him that he saw so many islands and so many waves that he couldn't even surf all the waves he saw, but there was a problem. So what's the problem? The problem is that he said there is nothing there. So hang on a minute. That is not a problem.
That's what you're looking for.
Exactly. Said, but nothing, what do you mean nothing? No food, there is people living there? Yeah, there is people living there. So if there is people living there, you can be sure there will be rice and coconut, and that will be enough.
And fish.
And fish, of course. And so, okay, so you're planning to go to Telo. And
you and Glenn together.
Yeah, and Glenn together. So the plan was going to Bali and leave to Singapore, get a 6 months visa, social visa for 6 months, and go to Telo. So we got to Bali, and he got hooked up with a girl there and went on a romance trip with her in Bali. I said, So I went alone to south of Sumatra. I went to Krui, North Krui, south of Krui. There is great waves there, but there's a lot of surf camps. So back to Bali, met Glenn. We left to Singapore, get the social visa with 6 months, come back. When we arrived back in Bali, that was almost October already. I said, fuck man, should we go? It's like raining season. Yeah, rainy season. Yeah, but let's go anyway. So we went to Padang and took a long time to find a cargo boat to Telo. We found it, we jumped on it, and boom, there we were in Telo. Telo actually is one of there is 101 islands in this archipelago. They call Pulau Batu. Telo is one of the 101 islands, but because it's the most famous, they call this area Pulau Telo. But Pulau Telo itself, there is no even waves there. It's just the main island. So you're having Telo, so far there is no waves here. But there was a little island that you could even paddle to it, which we did.
So the ferry took you right over here to the...
No, to Telo, up north.
Right, Telo up north where there's no waves.
Yeah. And Telo, there is no waves. On the island named Telo, there is no waves. But there is an island that you can swim or paddle to, which there is a left-hander there, they call Church now.
Uh-huh.
And
I think I've surfed there.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So we start there, and we actually were renting a canoe with an engine. They call Robin here in Indonesia. And that's why we used to explore all the islands and all the breaks around Telo.
Like a local boat?
It's a canoe. It's a canoe.
Smaller than a local boat.
It's a canoe with an outrigger and a little engine on it. So we're taking too long and was too expensive to do the search on the North Telos on it. So what we do, we went to the island where all those resorts is being built nowadays. So you have like, I don't know, probably six or more resorts in North Telos. So you have Latitude Zero, Telo Lodge, Telo 101, all those places. We went to the island, we stay on the island up to a month to see the potential, you know. So we rented a local check of a local fisherman and stayed there up to a month. There was nothing there, nothing. No one little resort. And then we look in the map, we see here in the south where we are now, we see the horseshoe. Said, man, how about that? It's facing south. How to get there? So we get information in Telo. We stay up months in Telo.
Did you look at this region on the map and say to yourself, it's positioned exactly like Lugandri Bay?
Yeah, no.
Did you think like that?
No, we didn't. But we knew that we were facing south, this area.
Yeah.
And there is a horseshoes, which potentially is a surf spot. I was not comparing with Nias. I never been to Nias because I know how crowded it is. Yeah. But people that went there, they said that Nias on the 60s or early 70s is pretty much the same shape, same geography. So we found how to get to there. And the guy said, look, you have to wait for a local boat to bring the copra. Copra is the coconut, yeah? That's the income in anywhere in Indonesia. They climb the coconut tree, they get the oldest coconut that is a big, thick meat. They throw the water away, it's not good to eat, but it's a thick meat which they take from the shell, pre-cook, put on a bag of rice, fill it up, and they pre-cook, fill it up with the pieces on a bag of rice, put on a boat, goes to Telo, and sell there by kilo. In Telo they get the copra, this coconut, and they put on a bigger ship, and then they bring it to Malaysia, to Singapore, and they process the meat, coconut meat, and they make kerosene or coconut oil, whatever, and they sell back to Indonesia. Yeah. So we are waiting one of the local boats from here, where we are sitting now, to go to Telo. Maybe 3 weeks later, there is a local guy said, oh, there is a boat just arrived. So we went there, oh, you from, okay, I'm going to say the name, Duru is the name here. Are you from Duru? Yeah. Are you going back in a couple of days? Can we get a ride with you? Yeah, you got to pay. Yeah, sure, we pay. We pay the guy, took probably 12 hours here. But when we here, Scott, you guys cannot see because but Scott can see. He sees a bay here, right?
Yeah, we're looking at the bay.
Yeah, so
beautiful blue bay.
So it's a bay. We are on the tip of the bay. Yeah, this side where there is wave. The other side, which can look straight ahead, and there on the bottom you see nowadays have an antenna from the cell phone. That's a single longo. That's where we arrived.
So there's a little town that Paulo's pointing to that is where they arrived when they first visited here the first time. Duru.
Yeah. Okay, so the other side, next day we walk to the point there, right? So imagine you guys might be listening. Imagine a U, a letter U. Look to the left is one point. Look to the right is where the waves are. And so you are on the left side of the U point, and we walk to the point, and we saw the wave.
So you were on the other side of the bay, and you saw the waves here that we're looking at in front of your surfing village.
Exactly. So this time now we walk.
And the waves were good. You were excited, right?
No, we saw there was a wave. We couldn't see how good it is because you see from sideways, right?
And you have boards with you? What do you?
Yeah. We have boards with us. So now we walk inside this side of the bay all the way to now inside the bay, from inside the bay, not outside the bay. We arrive outside.
Now you're way in there where there's no real waves breaking, where it's calm water, and you can get across to this side, right?
Yeah. So you went all the way, and I would say from here from this side where we are to the other point, I would say, I don't know how you guys measure, but we say kilometers or meters. I would say half kilometer, 500 meters from here to there.
Yeah.
All right, so you walk another probably 800 meters from that point to where we are sitting there is a village there.
It's a half a mile, maybe more.
Yeah, so there was a village there, a small village, and we find this local guy. He was living alone. Was a maybe 4x4 house, was a square wooden house, and we made a deal to rent his house. He agreed. So, and then, man, we are talking already, that's 2005 in October to November. Maybe November already. And we sleep there, and every day, Scott, every day we wake up, and the little kids from the village come to me and Glenn said, Mister, ombak bagus, good waves.
Ombak bagus.
Good waves. But we look, because we are really far, it looks like less than half meter, but peeling.
Looks small, but it's peeling in good conditions.
Yeah,
but it looks small because you're way in there.
Yeah, but we didn't realize that until the 9th day. Yes. Every day, same story. Mister, ombak bagus. Me and Glenn playing chess all day long. Day number.
Why wouldn't you walk up here?
Because it was far and looks tiny.
Yeah.
And on the 10th day, I said, oh, Glenn, I'm sick and tired to play chess. I go for a paddle. So I walk from the village to that point, the other side.
Yeah.
And I jump in the water and start to paddle towards the wave here. And there was no less than how, it was head high.
Yeah.
You know, head high, let's say
6 feet. Yeah, 4 to 6 feet.
Yeah, 4 to 6 feet. Head high.
Yeah, head high.
I'm 5'8".
Yeah, it's head high.
Yeah, that was a 5'8".
Yeah.
Whatever you call. We call meter, a good meter wave. Anyway, but I'm a goofy footer, as you know. And first wave I paddle, I did the drop. When I went to the bottom turn, the wave was already like 10 meters away from me.
It was already peeling way too fast out in front.
I got like 10 waves. The 10 waves I made the drop, but I couldn't get the wall.
Yeah.
So I pedal back to the point, walk back to the village, say, Glenn, it's not half meter, it's head high, but I think the wave is unmakeable. It's too fast. Ah, bullshit. Let's go tomorrow. So day 11, same conditions, man. That was November. We walk, jump in the water, paddle. He start to paddle for the first wave. Said, no, wait for the set. And he's a very tall guy. He's like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". He's a very tall guy. But he's regular footer. So waited for the set. The set came. Said, go Glenn. He paddled. He took off, and then I looked back, and I saw was crystal clear, transparent water, man. I could see from the takeoff all the way. He passed the Terceira with 3 sections. Terceira is the 3rd section. He ended up pretty much here in front of the restaurant. There was nothing here.
Yeah.
But I saw the whole wave from the back. And then I saw a big smile because it's more. It's like 200 meters plus.
A long, fast, beautiful, peeling, transparent wave that Glenn rode.
Yeah.
He was ecstatic.
Yeah. I just could see a smile coming back. Nothing else. And I told Glenn, don't even tell me that you got a barrel all the way, because I literally saw from the back.
Yeah.
So, okay, the wave is makeable, so I have to change my approach. Because I was living and surfing all those big waves, I had the approach of go take the drop, wait for the bow, and do the bottom turn where the bow is forming. You cannot do that here.
No.
So I said, I got to change my approach. So I paddle, and I look down the line, and I jump in and did the first pump. When I did the first pump, I was already on the wall, and I was going so fast, but the wave was so perfect. There was no session, Scott. It was one pipe the whole way, and I was wow, and I was going faster and faster, and I saw the barrel coming. I said, oh, fuck this. The barrel went faster. I was ahead of the barrel all the way to the rock. When I finished the ride, and I'm a goofy footer, I went left.
You want to go left, Paulo.
Yeah.
Beautiful right.
Yes. And I said, fuck the search, man. That's it. Because I could see, again, you guys cannot see, but we can see an island in front here,
Yeah.
right? Which like
Bojo Island.
Yeah, it's a kilometer from here.
Yeah, maybe more. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
you
call
can
it.
see that. You can see. It takes 5 minutes on a speedboat.
Yeah.
But we can see, and I could see the white water there. So he must have a left-hander there.
So what Paul is saying is that right across from this right is a obvious left-hander. So he's getting his left and Glenn's getting his right.
Yeah, so if you have this right-hander, which is already enough, and a left-hander, that will be enough for a surf camp.
Yeah.
So we surfed for hours, and after we done surfing, what we did, we didn't paddle back to the point and walk to the village. We actually paddle inland here, where we are now.
Really?
Yeah, from there it's straight.
Straight over the reef.
Yeah, and there was nothing, all wild grass and the coconuts only. And we found a shack, just the roof, this palm tree roof, where they cook the coconut, the copra.
Yeah.
There was an old lady there. And luckily she could understand Bahasa Indonesia, because this area here before, they only talk Bahasa Nias, which until today, almost 20 years after, is really hard to figure out. Yeah, it's hard. It's totally different from Bahasa Indonesia.
It's like a Nias dialect?
Yeah, Bahasa Nias, Nias dialect. So, but she couldn't, and our Bahasa also was not that great. But we could make her understand that we want to rent her roof. And she goes like, what for? Said, we want to sleep here. You cannot sleep here. I cook the coconut here. And it's not good. There is nowhere to you guys to sleep. So now we're going to put our mosquito net, our board cover, and we're going to sleep here. You willing to rent for us? Sure she was, because there was money, there was nobody here. So when we are sealing the deal with her, there was another local guy came walking by, because we are in the middle of the jungle here.
Yeah.
He walked on the beach. He saw two gringos, two bull-ass Westerns, talking with an old lady. So he came, said, hey guys, what are you guys doing? Said, nothing. But what are you guys doing here? Said, no, we're gonna sleep here. You sleep here? Why? Yeah, because it's close to the wave. The village is too far. No, don't stay here. Stay in my home. And I said, man, we don't want to stay in the village. It's too far. And he goes like, no, my home is not on the village. It's right there. And he pointed. Okay, let's go have a look. We walk another 200 meters back, and there was his house. You couldn't even see from the other side.
Uh-huh.
Again, it was like 6x6 wooden house.
Just a shack.
Yeah, there's a shack. So he have his. We went on the door. There was a door, a window, an empty room. There was one table, one bench. On the table was a kerosene lamp and a chess board. In the corner was his guitar. That was his common room.
That was it.
Yeah, and in the back, another little square with the kitchen, and the other little square. I'm talking about 6x6.
Small.
And the other square in the back of that was his room. That was him, the wife, and the two kids, 11 and 10 years old. So we sit on the bench, and from his window and his door we could see past it peeling. So all right, we stay here. So we went back surfing.
Yeah.
And then after surfing we came back, said, okay, we're gonna get our boards and bags on the village. We stay here. And so we did. At night, we went there, get all his stuff, put in his place. On the same night, I asked him, do you have land here? And he goes like, yes, I do. I said, where is your land? So we are talking on his land now. So that was his land, where we are. Right?
Where we are. So he said, my land is this point.
This
point,
here,
right where Paulo and I are sitting as
yeah.
you listen to this, was this gentleman's land.
Yes.
How much land? From his house to up to the top?
Only front is almost 200 meters. From the back is like a kilometer.
Okay.
So, and I asked him, would you like to rent your land? And he goes like, man, that's my dream. I said, okay, but I want to rent for 50 years.
By the way, is this the little old man that comes by here?
No. That's
okay.
the Kepala Desta, this chief.
That's the chief.
which
Okay.
has a very important part of the story.
Okay, so this man, go ahead.
And
I'm sorry.
I said, but I want to rent for 50 years. I want
15 or 50? 50. I want to rent your land for 50 years,
Yeah.
pal.
Yeah, and I was 39 at the time, so I thought, okay, I was not going to be 90, that will be over. And he agreed. And he gave me the price. I was not going to tell you the price.
Don't tell me the price.
Yeah, because nobody would believe anyway.
Yeah.
So
It was cheap.
it was cheap, but I didn't even have the money because by the time me and Glenn were here, since I arrived in Bali and went to Timor, to Rotterdam, it's already almost a year and a half till I get here.
So you spent your $10,000 that you
Yeah,
had
but
saved.
8.
Because
And
you
plus, when we are in Telos, doing the search on the robbing of the canoe with the engine, I asked the guy, how much cost your robbing? He go like, 2 million. That time it was 200 US. Is that all? Yeah. How much it cost to build a boat? Like 10 meters, 8 meters by 3. A wooden boat, a fishing boat.
Yeah.
I said, 10 million, $1,000.
$1,000 to build a boat.
Yeah, that's 20 years ago, yeah. And I went to Glenn and said, Glenn, I give $500. You give $500. We have a boat.
But you need an engine.
Yes. The engine we got a Myanmar, like 5 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the boat was built in Telos while we were already here, already find the place, already find the land. So I didn't have the money even to rent his land. I have to negotiate and pay in 10 years' time. Every year I would pay, dividing 10 the price, and I pay every year for 10 years.
Yeah.
He agreed. And then that's how it started. But then what happened? His dream was also have a chainsaw because he have so much land and there's so many trees. He wanna start to do his business. So, all right, I buy you the handsaw.
Handsaw or
The
chainsaw?
The chainsaw.
So the man you're renting the land from really wants a chainsaw to
Yeah.
cut down trees for his business, which is the copra or
no, it's
something else?
from wood.
Wood. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
wood.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I will need wood to build the bungalow.
Oh.
So I buy you the chainsaw, and you return the money in wood. But only the first bungalow, which was 6 by 6, that wouldn't be even enough. The chainsaw costs more than the wood I need for the first bungalow. And actually, the other way around. All the wood I need for the first bungalow costs more than the chainsaw.
Okay.
So I bought him the chainsaw, and he was delivering me the wood. When I went to Padang, and again, from here to get back to Padang, you have to find a boat to Telos. In Telos, you have to find a boat to Padang. Sometimes take a month, that process.
Right.
From
To go
here.
from here to the
Padang.
main Telos Island to get a ferry back to Padang.
Yeah, sometimes
It
take
could take a month.
up to a month. All right. So I went. It took like 3 weeks. When I came back with the chainsaw, Glenn I could not recognize him. I couldn't. When I saw him, I said, "Who is that guy?" I could not recognize him. He got malaria.
Oh, Glenn got malaria.
Man, he lost. He was already tall and it's kind of skinny, but he was like, man, I could not recognize.
Like
Seriously.
110 pounds or
Man,
something.
I don't know pounds, but
Yeah.
let's say he have like 80 kilos. He was like 50.
Okay.
He almost died
Yeah.
on that time. So, man, what happened with you? I got malaria, and he didn't know I was a malaria.
Oh, he was
So he
just sick.
stayed like for a week with malaria without knowing, and very sick. Nobody knew what it was. So, oh my God.
By the way, how are you getting water? How do you get water here back then?
Man,
Is there a well?
anywhere you dig a meter and a half, there is already water.
Fresh water?
Yeah.
Huh.
But you have to boil.
You got to boil it.
You gotta
Okay.
boil it.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. Glenn has malaria.
Yeah, well, good question because,
Yeah.
and that's, man, okay, we stay in his house, and including breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast was a half cup of black coffee. That was the breakfast. The lunch was rice with half, when there was half boiling egg.
When
And
there
dinner,
were eggs, you got
when there
half
were
a
eggs.
boiled egg.
and in the dinner was rice with the other half. Which if there is no egg, we eat rice with sugar. That was the meal we are doing.
Wow.
And
Did you ask about animals on the island that
No,
you
man,
could
no,
kill or
no,
shoot?
they didn't, man. They live pretty much on sago. Sago is It's the fruit from these palm trees, and they cook. It's like a bean.
So there's no game.
No, and
Monkeys
no, they didn't eat the monkey. There is not much meat on the monkey too, and it's hard to get the monkeys.
Yeah.
And they were on a war against
What
the
about
monkey.
the fish?
They do hardly fishing, man. And when they do, you use a net and they get this very tiny little fish they fry, and you eat with the head, with the bones, everything. So tiny there was. There was no real fishermen here. That was very primitive island.
Primitive, yeah.
They all used to shit on the beach. There was no toilet.
Okay.
Very imagine something very primitive. That's
Yeah.
how they were. Anyway, I bought him the chainsaw. He started delivering me the wood. But then Glenn was sick, still was not fully recovered. And then there was a ladder from Telos with a boat guy. Said, look, the boat of you guys ordered is about to be ready. So me and Glenn got on with 2-3 weeks to get a boat to Telos to get our boat. So we pretty much finished the boat there in Telos.
How big's the boat?
8x3.
Okay.
And there's all the ceremony to put the boat in the water.
To launch the boat.
Yeah. But Glenn was there sitting with the old ladies with his hand on his chin, like almost sleeping, while I was with the kids jumping from the roof on the water, stoked. And Glenn was like...
Still sick?
No,
Just
he was. But he was
Not happy.
sad. And
Sad.
not happy at all. So I went to him and said, Glenn, man, now we have the boat. We already found the land. We do not rely on anyone to transport. We can find new ways. Why you like that? And he goes to me, he said, Paulo, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm living your dream, not mine. I don't even know what my dream is. But I know that I'm living yours, not mine. Is that okay if I leave? Oh, fuck, man, you know. You're not my dog. I'm going to put you on a leash. Of course, but I don't have half of the money from the boat or the land or the wood that we pay. You know my situation. I have that time I have $300 left.
Yeah.
3 million rupiah left. So that's okay. Whenever you have it, you give him back. If you never have it, don't worry about it. And he left. And now I was there in Telos with a brand new boat, 8x3 with a 5 horsepower, Niamar engine, brand new. And alone. So
you took the boat from Telos by yourself?
Yeah.
The canoe?
All the way here. No, the boat. That was a boat, fishing boat.
Okay.
8x3. It's not a canoe.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's not a canoe.
But
I
so
have a
you
photo.
went by yourself in the
Yeah.
8x3
Yeah.
fishing boat
Yeah.
with an outrigger?
No,
No, just a canoe.
Yeah, I showed you the photo. It's a proper boat. It's a
Yeah,
fishing
proper
boat.
boat. Okay, proper fishing boat.
Yeah.
But you're by yourself and you've got a 12-hour mission
Yeah,
from Telos.
all the way here.
Crazy.
And then I arrived, and I was already early March. When I arrived, man, the waves were pumping.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping inside the bay with the boat, which was beautiful because it's like a lagoon. And in the night, if the boat shake 3 times, slowly 3 times, wow, and then 3 times, that was swell. That was the set. That was the set. So, okay, next day I wake up, boom, here we are. So I anchored the boat here in front, where the restaurant is now, and I was surfing alone.
Yeah.
Beautiful, empty waves, man.
By yourself.
Alone.
But you're still eating this sort of not a very good diet.
No, rice.
Yeah.
Rice and rice.
Any
much.
fish? Are you fishing?
I was not fishing. I had no equipment. I have a line.
Yeah, hand line.
And but I was not trying to not move the boat because you need diesel, which was hard to get, and need to spend money on it. So sometimes to here back to the bay, I was throwing the line, but I couldn't get much at all.
Yeah.
And so I'll say, okay, the season pretty much starts in March, and I'm alone.
And you have one shack built?
No,
you don't even have the first.
We just had the land clean. Me and Glenn cleaned the land, and me and Glenn got sand and rocks from the beach, and we did the foundation. It was already ready, the foundation, and the wood was being delivered.
The foundation for this building that we're on now, or the first
bungalow.
The first bungalow, yeah.
So that was ready. The land was clean, and the foundation.
How did you get the concrete? I mean, I know you mentioned the sand and the rock, but I went
to the guy, the local guy, said, "Can I buy 1 sack of cement?" And I promise you, I will buy. I don't know when, but I promise I will eventually. So they trust me.
Yeah.
I didn't have the money for the cement.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, it's gonna take a long time to build. I'm not a constructor. I never built a table before, and I have to build the whole bungalow. The project was mine. I drew the project, and it's gonna take a long time. But the waves are pumping. So you know what? I'm gonna surf the whole season. When October, November come, and then I'm gonna start to build. And that's what I was living, surfing every day, sleep on the boat inside the bay.
Yeah.
Sometimes come to the land to try to pay more wood that was coming and looking for the wood that was delivering, because they deliver like pretty much piece by piece. You know, they have to go to the jungle here in the back with the chainsaw cut, and then they have to
mill it
there, and then they bring one by one, pretty much.
Yeah.
So when there was piece
and
arriving,
you don't have any tools.
No, nothing.
I mean, you're laying a cement foundation with hardly buckets. Do you even have a bucket?
No, nothing.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. And okay, so that was my plan.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. I was sleeping in the bay, surfing pretty much on a daily basis. When come June, that was early March. June come, and that was the first time I saw a charter boat. Huge charter boat.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know.
Hmm.
But I was surfing alone,
Mm-hmm.
and they pulled, and pretty much anchored beside my boat.
Oh shit.
And I saw the dinghy went to the left, and it was a big day here. That was really big. So I finished surf. I paddled back to my boat. There was this beautiful, hot blonde girl all inside my boat.
What?
With two locals taking photos. She was taking photos.
They're in your boat.
Yeah, inside my boat. So I came, but I was already like a orangutan, you know, totally out of society or social interaction. So I look at her and said, oh, hi, do you live here? I said, yes, I do. How can I take photos on your boat? Well, you're already doing it, don't you? I was not, hitting on her or even excited to see her, because I was like orangutan already.
Yeah.
Oh man, you should go to the boat and meet the captain, the crew. They're gonna love to meet you. I said, yeah, all right. So she left back to her boat, and I saw the dinghy coming back from the left, but I wanna see how good it was. It looks really good. So I went to the boat just to meet the guys and see the wave, because I knew they must have a shot or a video or a photo. So when I approached the boat, the very first guy that saw me was I forgot his name, but he shaped surfboards in Kauai. I was surfing with his board. I paddled to their boat with his board that he shaped to me.
A famous shaper?
Yeah, in
like
Kauai.
Bill Hamilton?
No, Bill Hamilton. He was a younger guy. Was not Bill Hamilton. He was a younger guy.
Kauai.
Yeah, from Kauai. And he recognized me, and I was actually with his board.
Oh, this is great.
And inside the boat, there was all those legends guys, man. All the guys from the Surfers Journal.
Like Jeff Hackman.
There was three guys that discovered G-Land.
Yeah, Michael Boyum, the two Boyum brothers, right?
No, there was one died with malaria.
Yeah.
There is another two. I don't know if one of them was Gary Lopez, and there was the older guy, and he was the part of a Surfers Journal. He was on the boat.
Yeah. I know who you mean. I can't place their names right now.
So there was a lot of legends on the boat, right?
Okay, yeah.
And when I entered the boat, they come like, oh, come here, take a photo. So, man, I think you guys are mistaking me with someone. I'm not nobody. You guys are from, not me. No, you are a legend, man. You live here on this paradise. Everybody taking photos with me and blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, yeah, all right. I just want to see the waves on the left. We just saw, and it was big and perfect.
Yeah.
And this guy that actually found G-Land, there was three guys.
Yeah.
He found G-Land, and now he was working on the Surfers Journal. He went to me and said, Paulo, there is any land here? That I hope he did not listen to that, because he asked me, there is any land here? I said, yeah. Can you find me anywhere, even inside the bay? I get it. And I go like, yeah, sure. But I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Because, okay, this guy, he traveled around the world. He found G-Land, and he's interested. It must be something special. So I hope he's not listening. The story, because I told him.
We don't even know his name.
Yeah, but people probably know, because he's one of the three guys that found G-Land.
It's going to come to me soon.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, right, I will. I never did, and I never will, even if you listen. And yeah, And anyway, they go like, okay, Paulo, dinner, you want to stay for dinner? So now I have to go back to my boat. No, you stay. No, no, the dinner is served. Man, I look it back. The table was like 5 meters long, and you name it, man. There was all kind of meat, fish, pig, and beef, and spaghetti, and cakes, and chocolate, and ice
cream. Was it one of Martin Daly's boats?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's probably one of those guys. I don't remember the name, you know. Until today, I'm very bad with names.
Yeah.
And so, all right, I stay. So I stay, eat dinner, and then...
Were you excited to have all this incredible food in front of you?
No, really, because I was concerned about my boat that was already nighttime. Well, I could see my boat.
You mean getting home?
Yeah, and you know, if it did...
It sounds like this is the greatest meal you've had in 2 years.
Yeah, but that's why I stayed. That was the only reason, pretty much. And after I finished dinner, I said, okay, I go back to the boat. No, and the captain came, and that was the boyfriend of the hot bond.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm the captain, blah, and he gave him a beer. And I don't drink until today, you know. I don't drink. And I have a beer, I have to be polite.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can tell that on your podcast, but they also come with a joint.
Yeah, no big deal.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So
you can say anything you want.
All right. So we smoke a joint and another beer, man. I was already...
Like, loopy.
Absolutely. I mean, I gotta get out from this boat.
Yeah.
So I sneak out and I went on the top, on the roof.
Yeah.
And there was all the locals from the boat there.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake. They say, "Oh, Apacabarca one." Like, "How are you going, my friend?" "Oh, mister, you stop. You speak Bahasa. Come." And they have like a barbecue with beer and
smoke. No. Party continues.
Yeah, even harder on top.
Uh-huh.
And I had to be nice too, so I was absolute, oh fuck. Anyway, 10:30 I jump in the water and back to my boat and I crash.
Oh shit.
I didn't even put my boat back on the bay. I crashed here in front.
Oh my God.
I wake up in the morning,
You're like a drunk driver in a boat here.
Absolutely, yeah, I could not. Yeah, that would be dangerous. I wake up, there was 2 speakers on my boat, sound speakers, which I left my wallet there with my $300, 3 million rupiah left. So I went to search for my money because I want to buy rice or I don't know what it was. There's something here and there. Where is my wallet? So I actually took the speaker out and look, where is my wallet? I look on the floor, where is my bag? So while I was on their boat, someone get a canoe, local, enter my boat and clean me up.
How do you know it wasn't the local guys that were working?
No, because I was with them and they would not know where I was.
Okay.
And when I went, I find out there was somebody.
Oh, you know that.
Because the only guy knew it. There was only one guy that knew where my wallet was, and the whole boat was not searched.
Right.
Only the wallet and my bag is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I have bags with dirt clothes on a bag they didn't open, or food they didn't even touch.
Right. So the guy went straight to where he knew where the wallet was.
So 4 or 5 days later, this charter boat left, and I was here. Now it's no money, almost no clothes, no document whatsoever, because it was in my bag. My ticket out of Indonesia, my ATM card, the photocopy of the passport. My original passport was in Bali to be extended. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
everything's gone, stolen.
Well, Scott, now the story goes really long because, man, I was gonna try to make short. What happened was like, man, and then the story of surfing. Actually, all I told you from now on was the introduction of how the surfing village started.
Yeah.
That was just the headline of the news.
Right.
So you better have a break, and I'm gonna try to make a quick story because it's a long story.
Yeah.
To the point where we can now sit on a 3rd floor of a restaurant having a cup of coffee or a pocari and look into a perfect wave without nobody, even if that we have
there's nobody
12 guests,
we have
nobody 12. Everybody surf out, and we know that later on we're gonna have a good dinner and a pool comp, and
We'll continue this tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, we continue tomorrow because now the story start, and now actually the story is interesting.
Yes. Okay.
But it's a long story. You see,
okay.
Just to give you the headline.
Yeah, the introduction.
How I get here is already a book.
Yes.
And now comes the Bible, but
okay.
So you better have a break.
I think I know the guy's name. It came to me, maybe. Peter McCabe.
I don't.
No,
it could be.
Peter McCabe, G-Land.
Yeah.
And then there's the two brothers, Boyum. I don't know if those guys found it.
No, Boyan went there and did it. We watched the movie the other night.
Heart of Darkness.
But there is three guys that actually discovered G-Land.
Yeah, before
Peter the surf camp. Yeah, before the surf camp.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Gary Lopes was with them. I don't know, but I know there was three. One died. The other one is that guy that was on the boat. And the other one, I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can find out later.
Yeah.
And I hope they are not listening because I promised that I was going to find him and Lena. I never planned it yet.
I think they give you a tip of the cap. They understand, they understand. Okay, well, we're going to continue this.
Okay.
Look for part 2 to be available here shortly on the YouTube channel, BoardRoom Surf, or wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, etc., etc.